Hey, this is Chris. How you doing? One of the things Torah-observant Christians do when they get to the Sermon on the Mount is they say, well, Jesus was merely explaining what the laws meant. He was just providing some more in-depth background and a greater understanding, but it's still Torah. Well, no, it's not still Torah, because for one simple reason. If you take, let's just take an example, the one about killing people. The Old Testament commandment said, thou shalt not kill. And that's pretty easy to follow. I mean, you just don't kill anybody and you follow the commandment, right? I mean, it's pretty cut and dried. But Jesus said, if you even hate your brother, you're guilty of murder. And so the Pharisees have been properly teaching the people that do not kill means do not kill. And they hadn't expanded it in any way, shape, or form to even begin to approach what Jesus is saying there. But if you think about it for a minute, if you think about the assumption, the supposition, that Jesus was merely expanding Torah, then what does that mean what does that say about God? I mean, if that's what God truly intended, that commandment to mean, if he truly intended it to mean don't get angry at somebody, then why didn't he just make that the commandment in the first place? Then the Israelites wouldn't have had, they would have known exactly what God wanted, right? Instead, we have the situation, according to Torah-observant Christians, that God gave Israel a command and then didn't explain it, and then what? So the Israelites never really understood the commandment. Every single one of them broke it, and not a single one of them ever offered a sacrifice for it. I mean, that's the only logical conclusion that you can come to, is that God did such a poor job communicating what it was he really wanted under the Old Covenant, that there's no way anyone could have followed it, because there's no way that anyone could have understood what the true intent was, because the true intent was never made clear. When was the last time God didn't make something clear? Seriously speaking, in the Bible. I mean, when he said he wanted something, that's what he wanted. And so when he established the Old Covenant and he said do not kill, that's just what he meant. He said, I don't want you running around killing each other. I don't want you running around killing anyone else, unless I tell you to do it as part of my master plan to get you into the promised land. But other than that, there was a commandment, do not kill, and the Israelites, everybody understood that. But that was the Old Covenant, and that was for the nation of Israel. And that was for a certain amount of time, about 1,500 years, give or take. And then that time ended, and Jesus came, and then you can see the continuity, and that's what's the beauty of these antitheses. You can see the continuity between the Old Covenant and the New Covenant. I mean, Jesus didn't just pull all the rules out of thin air. There was a shadow, right, in the Old Covenant that pointed toward what the true intent of God was when he issued that command. So there's this continuity, but there's also a discontinuity, because now it's like I cannot kill anyone. I haven't killed anybody yet, but I've broken that commandment, according to Jesus, thousands of times. Right? That's the discontinuity. So you look at the New Covenant and you can see from whence it arises, but that doesn't mean that it's just an extension, or it's just a little bit of explanation there around the edges. It's a whole new law. Those are two completely different rules, right? I hope most reasonable people can agree that those are two completely different rules. Thou shalt not kill, and if you don't kill, you're not guilty of killing. But if you get angry under the Old Covenant, if you get angry, well, you're still not guilty of killing because you haven't killed anybody. But under the New Covenant, if you kill somebody, of course, you're guilty of killing them. But if you get angry about it with them, then you're guilty of killing them. And so that's a new rule. I mean, that so far surpasses the intent of the original rule that it is in fact a new rule. That's just the way it is. And of course, Jesus' rules are not for the kingdom of Israel, they are for the kingdom of God, which is a completely different entity than the kingdom of Israel. The kingdom of Israel is an earthly kingdom. The kingdom of God is a spiritual kingdom. And it will be a physical earthly kingdom when sin is sent into the lake of fire, and along with Satan and the Antichrist and everything else, and the beast. So when that's done, it will be an earthly kingdom, but it won't be Israel. It will be the redeemed. And who knows what we're going to be doing. But the whole point of the exercise here is to understand that there were rules for the Old Covenant. When the Old Covenant passed away, those rules passed away. Jesus instituted new rules that you can see where they came from. You can see they have their basis in the Old Covenant, but they are not Old Covenant rules. They are New Covenant rules. And they are meant for Jesus' church and the kingdom of God. So, hope I cleared that up for you. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. If you don't, ask me a question. Leave a comment in the section below. Like and subscribe. We appreciate when you do. We'll see you on the next one. God bless you.